Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen. In today's recipe, I'm going to show you how to make Aloo Matar Sabzi along with a garlic and oregano tawa paratha, like a fusion dish, but makes a perfect weeknight dinner. It's really simple. I'm going to be cooking it all in one pot, and to make the tawa paratha, I'm going to be using this garlic and oregano spread, which is enriched with omega-3 and has 0% cholesterol, and it makes great flaky parathas. Okay, so I'm just going to dive right in. First make the aloo matar, and then show you how to make a delicious tawa paratha. So let's just dive right in. So now into my preheated pressure cooker, I'm going to go ahead and add my the classic spread into it and allow it to melt. And once it melts, I'm going to go ahead and add all the remaining ingredients. The good part about this spread is that it just can be used for making sabzis, parathas, and a lot of different things. And as I mentioned earlier, it is enriched with omega-3 and has 0% cholesterol, so it's just great. So now that my spread is melted, I'm going to go ahead and add in my cumin seeds and some ginger, green chilies, and finely chopped onions. So I'm going to saute the ginger, onion and green chilies for just a bit until the onion softens very little. You don't have to like bunao in like a masala at all, because it's all going into the pressure cooker and it's going to get cooked anyways. I'm going to take a ladle and then stir fry it. So the onions have lightly softened. At this stage, I'm going to go ahead and add my tomato puree. So what I have done is, these are fresh tomatoes which I put in the pressure cooker, cooked for a whistle and then turned off, peeled off the skin and then pureed it. So you have your tomato puree ready. Well, you don't have to have this. You can just have like 5 to 6 tomatoes and just blend it into the mixie and then add it in as well. Both of them give slightly different tastes. This particular cooked tomato puree makes the gravy a little more thick. The uncooked tomato puree makes it a little more watery, but you can lightly mash up the potatoes to give it that gravy texture. So there are ways that you can ensure that you have a nice gravy. I'm just going to go ahead and add my tomato puree into this, and then all my masalas. So I have my turmeric powder and red chili powder, just a pinch based on how strong your red chili is, then there's garam masala powder. So once this is done, I'm going to go ahead and add some salt. I'm also going to add some sugar, just a pinch, because it sort of balances the sourness from the tomatoes and then makes it really tasty. And finally, I have some chopped potatoes here with me, peeled and chopped, and it's soaking in water. I like to soak the potatoes in water because it makes it nice and soft and moist, and also prevents it from discoloring when you're actually doing all the rest of the preparation. I'm going to go ahead and add it along with that water that was there and give it a stir, and I'm going to pressure cook these potatoes for about 5 to 6 whistles. And once it's done, I'm going to give it a taste, add in the matar, check the salt, maybe kasuri methi or coriander leaves, and the aloo matar will be ready. Great, so let's just cover the pressure cooker, 5 to 6 whistles, and then we'll be ready. So while my aloo matar is getting cooked, I'm going to make the dough for the tawa paratha. So into a nice mixing bowl, I'm going to add in my whole wheat flour, a pinch of salt, and I'm going to also add in some kalonji seeds to add some extra flavor to it. Kalonji adds a lot of great taste to the tawa paratha. I'm just going to give it a stir, and in fact these tawa parathas I often serve for breakfast to my kids before they head out to school, along with some chena, and which is like a high protein like paneer mixed a little bit along with some honey and some badam powder, and it makes a really high protein breakfast for them. Great, so I'm just going to add little water at a time and then knead the atta dough into a nice smooth yet firm dough, and after that I'm going to drizzle some oil to give it a nice soft feel to the paratha dough. Okay, so I'm just going to add little water at a time. So now that the dough has come together, I'm going to drizzle a little bit of oil on the top, and then knead the dough well until it's nice and smooth for about 3 to 4 minutes, so it becomes really soft. And if you knead it well, only then the paratha will be nice and flaky and also have a good texture to it. So now that this is done, I'm going to divide the dough into large lemon-sized portions so I can make the paratha. So now the next step is to roll it out. I'm going to dust my surface with a little bit of flour and dust my paratha dough on top of it. I'm going to make a triangular shaped paratha. So for that, first I'm going to roll it out into a 3-inch diameter circle and then fold it into half and another half. So typically every layer has a lot of ghee or fat in it. I mean, you add in some oil or ghee, so to add to the flakiness, but I just add a little bit of flour and just leave it at that, to just make it a little healthier. And that's it. And I'm gonna roll it out, and you'll have these nice flaky layers and when you cook it along with this garlic and oregano spread. Great. So now that this is done, I'm going to roll out a few more parathas and then place it on the preheated tawa and then cook it until it's done. Now that I've rolled out my parathas, I'm going to go ahead and use my garlic and oregano spread and melt it on the tawa, and this adds a lot of flavor to the paratha, believe me. And the good part is it's enriched with omega-3 and has 0% cholesterol. Great, so I'm just going to go ahead and take a spoon, less than that, just a bit, and spread it in my preheated tawa. And once it melts, I'm going to go ahead and add my paratha, the rolled out paratha, and allow it to sort of melt over it. Great. And I'm going to flip the paratha and then cook the paratha until it's crisp on both sides. Okay, so this will take less than a minute to do. So notice that I've been flipping and turning the parathas while it was cooking, and it's getting some nice brown spots. Ensure that you cook it on medium high and not complete high, because then it will remain kacha, okay, and that is uncooked. So I'm just going to flip it. Both the sides are nicely done. You tap it and it'll have a light crispness to it, but it'll be flaky when you tear it. Okay, great. So now this is done. I'm going to go ahead and cook my remaining parathas, and then this pressure is released in my Aloo Matar Sabzi, and I can't wait to show you how it's done as well. Just going to go ahead and cook the remaining two, and then I'll show you the aloo matar. So now that my tawa parathas are done, I'm going to go ahead and open my pressure cooker for the Aloo Matar Sabzi. Wow, that looks just brilliant, great. It's going to add in some color with some green peas now. A good way to test if it's done is slightly press into the aloo, and if it goes in really smoothly, then you know it's done. So it's perfectly cooked. And I'm going to add in the color now. So I have some fresh steamed green peas over here. So we're just going to go ahead and add in the matar and the kasuri methi. You can also add coriander leaves, but I'm going to go ahead and add the kasuri methi. I love the flavor of kasuri methi in the Aloo Matar Sabzi. Great, give it a stir, and that's it. I'm not going to cook it anymore. Give it a taste. It's all done already, because if you sort of boil it more, then the peas will discolor and then lose its freshness. Great, so now I'm just going to go ahead and give a taste check if the salt and spices are okay, and then put it in my serving bowl and have a delicious lunch. It's just perfect. I would have, maybe add just a dash more sugar, but that's a personal choice, because I like a little sweetness in my sabzis. This is just great otherwise, so I'm just going to go ahead and serve it, and we'll be done. Such a pretty bowl out there, the crispy tawa parathas along with the Aloo Matar Sabzi bursting with green color and flavors, simple flavors of garam masala. And so do give this recipe a try. It's really simple, makes a quick and delicious weeknight dinner. You can even pack it into your office lunch boxes or school lunch box for kids, and I'm sure that your kids will love it too. And when you do try out this recipe, don't forget to share your feedback in the comments below, because I'd love to hear back from you. So until then, until next time, happy cooking and healthy eating.